There's a man in Ohio who made $47,000 a year his entire 20s. No inheritance, no lucky stock pick, no crypto windfall. By 33, he had a net worth of $1.2 million. And the guy sitting next to him at the same company, same salary, same starting point, was 40 grand in credit card debt. Same job, same paycheck, same city, wildly different lives. I used to think the difference was income. I was wrong. The difference was so small, so boring, so invisible that nobody talks about it on YouTube. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why some people become quietly wealthy before 35, while everyone around them stays stuck running on the same treadmill, wondering where the money went. I'm going to walk you through 7 habits, but I need to warn you. Number 4 is the one that changed everything for the people I studied. And number 6 is the one nobody admits to because it sounds almost cruel. Stay with me. Let's start with the first one, and it's going to sting a little. People who get rich young do not budget. Let me say that again. They do not sit there on Sunday night with a spreadsheet categorizing their coffee. What they do is something different. The second money hits their account, a fixed percentage disappears into investments, into a high-yield savings account, into index funds, before their brain even registers it arrived. Thomas Stanley wrote about this in The Millionaire Next Door. He spent decades studying actual millionaires, not the Instagram kind, and he found something strange. Most of them couldn't tell you what they spent on groceries last month. But every single one of them could tell you the exact percentage of their income that got saved and invested automatically before they ever saw it. The trick isn't discipline. The trick is removing the need for discipline. Because here's the ugly truth about willpower. You don't have as much of it as you think. Nobody does. The guy drowning in debt isn't weaker than the guy building wealth. He's just fighting a harder fight. Every single day, he's deciding whether to save. The wealthy guy decided once, 3 years ago, and let the system do the rest. Now here's where it gets interesting, because saving alone doesn't make anyone rich. Saving is defense. And you cannot win a game playing only defense. Which brings me to the second habit, and this is where most people get it backwards. They think the rich invest in stocks. The rich I studied invest in skills first. There's a 28-year-old engineer I know in Austin who took his first bonus, $12,000. And instead of buying a used BMW like his coworker did, he spent $8 grand on a cloud architecture certification and a public speaking coach. 2 years later, his salary had doubled. His coworker was still paying off the BMW. Warren Buffett said the best investment you can ever make is in yourself, and everybody quotes that line, but almost nobody actually does it. They'd rather buy a course on passive income than spend the same money becoming undeniable at their craft. Your income is not a number. It's a reflection of how rare and valuable your skills are in the marketplace. Raise the rarity, and the number raises itself. Okay, third habit. And this one you've heard before, but I don't think you've ever heard it the way I'm about to tell you. They live on an old income. Here's what that means. The engineer I mentioned, when his salary went from $85K to $170K, he kept living on $85K for 4 years. Not because he was suffering, not because he was depriving himself, but because he understood something most people never figure out. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer of wealth. Every raise most people get gets absorbed into nicer apartments, nicer cars, nicer dinners, and 6 months later they feel exactly as broke as they did before. The wealthy play a different game. They let their income climb while their expenses stay flat. And the gap in between? That's where freedom lives. Now, I promised you number 4 was the one that changed everything. Here it is. They have a relationship with money that's almost emotionless. Most people treat money like a person they're in a bad relationship with. They avoid it. They feel guilty looking at their bank balance. They get anxious opening credit card statements. They swing between splurging and shame. Wealthy people, and I mean the ones who built it themselves, not inherited it, they look at money the way a mechanic looks at an engine. It's a tool. It's a system. It has inputs and outputs. There's no drama. There's no guilt. There's no avoidance. Morgan Housel wrote The Psychology of Money, and the whole book basically argues one point. Doing well with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are, and almost everything to do with how you behave. And behavior is hard to teach, but it starts with this one shift. Stop feeling about money. Start thinking about money. The moment you remove the emotion, you start seeing the board clearly for the first time. That one reframe, it's worth more than any stock tip you'll ever hear. All right, fifth habit. They build multiple streams of income, but not the way the gurus tell you to. You've seen the YouTube videos. 7 streams of income, and then it's like rental property, dividend stocks, a drop-shipping store, an Etsy shop, and somehow you're supposed to do all of this while holding a full-time job. That's not how real people do it. Real people, the ones who actually get wealthy in their 20s and early 30s, they do it in stages. They master one thing until it's producing serious money. Then, and only then, do they build the second stream. And usually the second stream is built on top of the first. The shopkeeper in Queens who immigrated here with nothing, opened a bodega, made it profitable, then used that cash flow to buy the building above his store, then used the rent from that building to invest in a second location. That's how wealth actually stacks. Not 7 things at once. One thing compounded, then another, compounded on top. Now here comes number 6, and this is the one nobody wants to admit. They cut people. I know how that sounds, but I'm telling you what I observed, not what sounds nice. The people who built real wealth before 35 almost universally, at some point in their 20s, made a quiet decision about who they spent time with. They stopped hanging out with the friends who wanted to go out 4 nights a week and split $12 cocktails. They stopped taking calls from the cousin who only called to complain. They stopped dating the person who mocked their ambition as too intense. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't public. It was just a slow, deliberate pruning. Because here's the thing. Nobody tells you. Your environment has more influence on your financial life than your intelligence does. You will drift toward the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people are broke, cynical, and scared of risk, you're going to absorb that. If those 5 people are building, saving, investing, and talking about business, you're going to absorb that too. The rich aren't cold. They're just intentional about the gravitational pull they let into their lives. And here's the 7th habit. And this is the one that ties everything together, so stay with me. They get obsessed with boring. Not Lamborghinis, not passive income courses, not crypto. Boring. They read 10K filings on a Saturday. They listen to podcasts about tax strategy. They get genuinely excited about index fund expense ratios and the compound interest of a Roth IRA over 40 years. While their friends are posting dopamine hits on Instagram, they're quietly absorbing information about how money actually works in this country because they understand something most people miss. The people who run the financial world are not smarter than you. They just paid attention to things you were told were boring while you were busy being entertained. And now here's the part that's going to change how you see all of this. None of these 7 habits require a high income. Not one. The guy in Ohio making $47K, he did every single one of these. He automated his savings. He invested in a welding certification. He lived on his starting salary for 6 years. He treated money like math, not drama. He built a side income repairing equipment on weekends. He quietly stopped hanging out with the friends who couldn't stop spending, and he got weirdly into reading about personal finance when everyone else was watching Netflix. He didn't get lucky. He got consistent. And that's the part that's hard to accept, because we've been sold a story that becoming wealthy requires some genius move, some perfect stock pick, some business idea nobody else had. It doesn't. It requires you to do 7 boring things for 10 years while everyone around you does nothing and tells you you're doing it wrong. Most people won't. That's not a judgment. That's just the math of it. If it were easy, everyone would do it, and the word wealthy would mean nothing. But you're still here. You watched this whole video, which tells me something about you. You're not looking for a hack. You're looking for the truth. And the truth is that your next 10 years are going to pass whether you apply these habits or not. In 2036, you're going to be somewhere. The only question is where. Pick one habit, Just one. Start this week, not next Monday, this week. If this hits something real in you, subscribe. I make videos for people who are done pretending the shortcut exists.